What's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed Jaylen Warren to a contract extension, and he's getting big money, as most likely he is going to be taking over as running back one. I feel like to start off the season, that is what Jaylen Warren is, but depending on what Caleb Johnson does in this rookie year season, I feel like right now it might be a committee in Pittsburgh, but I feel like right now Jaylen Warren does have that number one spot as of right now in Pittsburgh, from what he's done the last couple of years with the Steelers. But if Caleb Johnson comes in early and impresses, it might not be long until he's the number one and Warren is the amazing backup. But even if they are paying Jaylen Warren, even though he's potentially going to be a backup if Caleb Johnson turns out to be something for them, I still think he is a great backup to have and to get locked up. He's getting $7 million this year with this extension and get $12 million guaranteed with the extension. Like I said, I like what I've seen from him in the last couple years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think it's worth it for them to give him $12 million guaranteed for 2 seasons. It could be more than that, who knows? But again. I think he starts off as the number one for this Pittsburgh Steelers team, and maybe he stays as the number one if he really impresses, and Caleb Johnson is maybe not what they want him to be. Remember, Jaylen Warren hasn't really got the full keys in Pittsburgh since he's been with Najee Harris and splitting carries with Najee Harris. Now I feel like he might have a longer leash now. Sure, they have Caleb Johnson, but I think there could be a longer leash for Jaylen Warren now. Let's remember, he had 511 rushing yards last year in 15 games, and he was the backup. He had 800 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns in 17 games for Pittsburgh in 2023. So, and I think he's also a good receiving back, and that can be really good for a guy like Aaron Rodgers. He's had over 300 receiving yards in the last couple seasons, 310 and 370 in the last couple seasons, so a total of 480. Sorry, my bad. 680 receiving yards in the last 2 seasons. And, like in in New York, when Aaron Rodgers was in New York, we saw him have a guy like Breece Hall, who, it's a great runner, but Breece Hall, I think, is a very underrated pass catcher as well. And he's going to Pittsburgh. He's going to have that again with Jaylen Warren. I think Jaylen Warren could potentially even be bigger in the pass game this year with Pittsburgh than he's been in the past couple years, and he's been good in the last 2 years. So I could see Warren taking a bigger step in the pass game this year as a pass catcher as well. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on the extension in the comments, and peace out.